So far this morning, I fed, I don't know, a lot of pigs. I fed sheep. I fed the cats. I fed the dog. I have put straw in a pig house. I have carried 100 kilos of feed, and I've just brought down these wooden tabletops. So, how's your morning going? Have a lot to unpack this morning. So I got back a little bit later than expected. So usually now in winter I've been feeding the pigs at about 4 o'clock. But because I was stopping to get veggies and other stuff for them, I got back closer to 5 to find out that apple pie and blueberry had broken out. So they would have been, yeah, when I'm late feeding, they get impatient. Let's put it that way. So this is what I've got. This wood to put on top of the cupboards. So I am going to put like preservative on it first, and then waterproofing. And then that'll go for the cupboard tops. I must just take these out first so I can get to all the feed. Oh my goodness. I'll offload this later. I don't quite need it right now. One wheelbarrow full. And I've got the wood over there so long. So this is what they completely destroyed. Yeah. They've pulled the post actually out of the ground, that one, and we'll get around here. Yeah. They made themselves, they moved this, all these blocks that were keeping it there, and this is where they got out. So I was going to be retiring this pen anyway, because it's just like a nightmare trying to keep it secure. And so yeah, so this pen will get broken down completely. I'm not going to be repairing this. So because it was quite late last night, and they quite willingly went into, by the time I'd fed the other animals and everything, they quite willingly went into this pen. So they're in this pen. I will reevaluate one of the little ginger piglets I didn't see this morning, and that's what I worry about when they're that small, that they can get taken by a fox. So this morning Ruby was standing at the very front, ready to go out with the baby, and the hay that I actually brought for Ruby I've just put in there as well. So she's eating the hay and baby's with her. So yeah, so she's determined baby is strong enough to make it up the road into this pen. So they're all getting stuck into the hay. Just going to top up that big pen's house with hay. It's got straw. It's got straw in there, but I'm just going to put more in now because the babies are there. with that like wooden bench top. I think it makes a huge difference. I need to put one on here, but I'm going to have to cut the wood down a little bit. It's going to be too long. It's going to go over the oven, the stove at least, or block the door. And I'm going to build the cupboard now for this area, and this one is also going to have to be cut down. This black tote, I'm still trying to figure out where I'm going to move it to, but that holds like the tent and sleeping bags and stuff. So this is the two other ones that will have to be cut down. I've still got to build these cupboards. Alright, hopefully it's not going to be too difficult. Okay, I managed with the small flat pack. Let's see if I can do this big one. While I was building the cupboard, I've made a rooibos tea loaf. Might have been left in a little bit too long. Actually, no, it feels okay. That oven doesn't really cook evenly. But anyway, yeah, so the rooibos tea loaf, the recipe is in my recipe book. It's come out nice and moist. So, look who's out of the big pen with the babies. Apple pie, both of them escaped again with all the babies. Yeah, your babies better follow you now. Okay, very, very easy to get the mothers in with Tim Tam and Sweetie Pie, and hopefully they don't break out from there. I've barricaded the gate with the big solid gate. Hopefully that'll work. Most of the piglets just sort of went in okay. There were two that were a bit of a challenge, and it's now taken over an hour, but I've managed to get Blueberry's black and white one in. It's just been running around and around the row. Oh, anyway, I then came up with putting the cage down with apples on its root as it was running around the perimeter, and it ran into the cage, and that's how I caught it. But oh my goodness, you guys have been very patient. I haven't even heard a sound from you until now. All of you have been very good waiting for me while I've been spending, I've actually just checked now, an hour and a half chasing after the black and white piglet. Yes. Let's see, where's the baby and Ruby? I don't see them. We'll have to see. Baby's busy drinking. You can always see when it's drinking. You see how its tail wags like that? When it's getting the milk, the tail wags. Oh, no, she's walking away from it. But I picked it up this morning, and it has such a round, fat tummy. Oh, my goodness. Yes. Such a round, fat tummy. Steve has arrived. Hello. So Steve has brought me some old metal bed heads that I can use as gates, because they're solid enough to keep pigs in, hopefully. So Steve is going to help cut these countertops down, the two that need to be cut, because he's an expert with a circular saw.
I wish I was.
I'm a bit scared of the circular saw. Here's the battery, don't forget, huh?
Yeah. It's just, well, I'll leave the battery out until I'm...
Yeah, till you're ready to go.
So 28.
Steve is very precise. See me, I just cut and hope it goes straight. Perfect, Steve. You are so good with that circular saw. So one of the animals has caught a mouse and they've actually put it in Tundi's bowl. So you can see how I've had to barricade this gate, but they are still trying. So I have blueberry and apple pie with it. Oh my goodness! You're jumping up. You can smell the oranges on me. That's why I've been cutting up oranges. Yeah, so I've got them in here because they broke out of the big electrified pen that Chris and Cocoa Pop and Cinnamon Bun are in. And I found there's like an area that's not electrified where they lifted up that fence. So 2 days in a row they got out. But anyway, all the babies are all here and they're all co-parenting, all of them. And I think this is safer because they have lights that come on when there's movement at night, that we put in when we had the fox problem earlier the year. So that's the update on these. Yes, you ready for these oranges? So I've got some rose cuttings. They've got roots on them, I think. And I'm thinking they'll look quite cool in that raised garden bed next to the cottage. And if I can get them to grow, then hopefully the thorns will stop Tandy from pulling them out, because she seems to like anything that looks like a stick, she will just pull out. So that area that there's no plants there because Tandy lay there and flattened it, I'm going to put these roses in. And then Steve bought me this netting that you can put over the raised garden bed, which will hopefully stop Tandy. I'm not too sure whether it will, but we can try. Yeah, so the people that gave the idea about putting in like the spoons and the forks, etc., that didn't deter the animals at all. That didn't work. The people that suggested spraying with peppermint, that didn't work either. So yeah, we just pull out these weeds that are here. Weeds seem to be surviving, but and then try and plant the roses in here, and then cover them with the netting. Right, I have the 3 roses in. I'm going to try and put that net over now. Right, so I have the rose bushes in. I've covered them with that netting, and I've secured the netting down with some wood, and they're also underneath those blocks over there. So hopefully this will keep the cats out, but it'll also keep Tandy from pulling these, what she's going to see as sticks to just pull out and chew, because she's very good at doing that. And yeah, this is the hope that this will survive to grow into rose bushes. So hopefully, yeah, as they grow a bit bigger, then the thorns will stop it from pulling them out. I'm going to have to add in more soil, but I'm going to have to put more bricks here, because we used some of these bricks when Kinsey was here. To use some of these bricks for the patio, so I've got to replace those. But yeah, fingers crossed, roses are going to work. So the plant gone to seed like this is morojo, which is a wild African spinach. And yeah, you can see like pumpkins and melons that are still coming. Unfortunately, as they ripen, somebody, we won't mention names, collects them and carries them off and destroys them. We won't mention who would do something like that. But yeah, every time I've got excited, there's been a pumpkin or squash or something coming, it would have been taken away. If you're interested in gifting someone my recipe book, Around the World on 80 Plus Plates, it's available on Amazon in ebook and print paperback format. The links for them are in the descriptor below. Thank you so much for your support.
That I represent Donald Trump's ideal African immigrant community. Just me and Elon Musk. Only today. Right? I just want to address the elephant in the room, my skin tone. I understand that a lot of your African immigrants are presented to you with a slightly more chocolatey hue to them. Kind of like you. Kind of like you. But due to the current economy, budget cuts, and the simple fact that the printer just straight out ran out of black ink, I am the only African immigrant that Brickies could afford. No, I understand some of you are confused because you look at me and you hear me say Africa, but you look at me and think Jeff from Alabama. And I get it. And the reason for my complexion is because I was raised in the shade growing up. That's why I look like I do now. Now, I've been living in the States a while now. I am married. I am married for good reasons, green cards. I am married. Anyone here married to an American woman? Everyone? Right? Anyone here love American woman? Woo! Yeah. There's something about American women that I can't find anywhere else in the world, right? I've gone all over the world, and American women have these traits that no other ladies have, right? They have these, actually, they have this trait, single trait, that no other lady has. I think you guys call it citizenship. Oh, man, I'm a sucker for a lady with voting rights. I'm a sucker for a lady with voting rights. My green card is, my wife is here tonight. Yeah, give her a round of applause. Yeah. We married for all the right reasons, right? Right? Yeah, that's how you lock it in. No, and because of her, next year I can actually become a citizen. Yeah. Which means that next year I can become an African American. That's pretty cool, huh? That's pretty cool. Now, I have noticed that American men, they have these traits about them that they have a trait about them, they're very macho. You have this machismo energy to you, right? And I lack that. I don't have that, and I wish I did. When I first moved to the States, my wife had to teach me how to pump gas. Do you know how embarrassing it is for a 30-year-old man to stand at a gas station with your wife hovering over you, saying super helpful things like, "Why are you spilling it on the floor? That's a waste of $10. What's wrong with you?" Real helpful things that wives say. You know the things I'm saying, right? You've been married for a bajillion years. Yeah. No, I did impress my wife the other day. I did something that I would consider manly. Something I've never done before. She called me, she told me her car battery was dead. It was flat, right? And I said, "Babe, I've got you covered. I'll change your battery." I was so excited that I was going to do something manly, I forgot that I didn't even know cars had batteries. And I was like, "Don't worry, I'll change the battery." I went to Walmart to go find a car battery, and I was standing in front of those AA and AAA batteries for like 15 minutes. Don't laugh it up, because you've heard of AAA before, right? And I was looking at all the AAA things, looking for the one that said car battery on it. I couldn't find it. And I had this 16-year-old teeny bopper come up to me, someone who was working there, and they're like, "Oh, can I help you? What are you looking for?" I said, "I'm looking for a car battery." And they were like, "Oh, what size remote control car do you have?" I'm like, "No, not a remote control car." I've never felt so embarrassed in my life before. I had to walk out there before he posted it on TikTok. No, I finally got the battery, and I said, "Okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna fix this, but I need to watch a YouTube video on how to fix the car battery." So I was watching a YouTube video on my wife's laptop, obviously in incognito mode. I don't need her knowing what I'm looking up, right? She's thinking I'm a man. And I heard her coming upstairs, and she goes, "Tony, what are you watching?" And I shut that laptop so fast, I said, "I'm watching porn!" Just so she could get off my back. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Tony Kenny, and I appreciate you guys having me up here. I'm going to bring up a very funny Ali Augusta. I'll put the